Have you ever wondered about the most mysterious beings in the Bible? Those shrouded in mystery and symbolism that spark our curiosity and make us reflect on the unknown. From the burning seraphim to the enigmatic angel of the abyss, these figures are not just characters from ancient scriptures but bearers of profound lessons and hidden meanings. Often, these celestial entities appear at critical moments, their appearances filled with significance that can transform our perspectives. These mysterious beings, such as the seraphim and the cherubim, are not mere additions to the biblical narrative but complex symbols carrying the divine qualities of power, wisdom, and protection. They guard secrets that have intrigued theologians and scholars for centuries, leaving us with more questions than answers. Who are they really? What is the purpose of their existence and appearance? And what do these stories teach us about our spiritual journey? In this video, we will unravel the mysteries of these obscure beings together. We will explore their appearances, understand their roles, and discover the hidden lessons they have to offer. Prepare yourself for a fascinating journey through the pages of the Bible, where the supernatural meets the divine, and mystery turns into revelation. The Seraphim, guardians of God's throne. The Seraphim are often mentioned as fiery beings, intensely connected to God's throne. In the Bible, they are described with 6 wings, 2 covering their faces, 2 covering their feet, and 2 used to fly. This striking visual description creates an aura of mystery and reverence around them. They are seen in visions of prophets like Isaiah, where they cry, "Holy, holy, holy is the Lord of hosts," Isaiah 6 verse 3. These beings are thus perpetual guardians and worshippers of the Almighty, standing out as figures of extreme purity and devotion. The role of the seraphim goes beyond just being guardians, they also symbolize purification. In the book of Isaiah, a seraph touches the prophet's lips with a live coal, removing his guilt and sin, Isaiah 6 verses 6 to 7. This act of purification symbolizes the role of these angels as intermediaries between God and humans. They have the power to purify and prepare the chosen ones for their divine mission. This purifying aspect of the seraphim reminds us that contact with the divine is not only an experience of worship but also one of transformation and renewal. Although rarely mentioned, the seraphim have a profound impact on theology and popular imagination. They represent a deep mystery regarding the nature of celestial beings and their functions. The image of the seraphim burning in devotion is a powerful metaphor for the purity and zeal expected of those who serve God. The mystery surrounding them is not only about their appearance but also about the depth of their devotion and their role in the grand divine scheme. And speaking of celestial mysteries, the cherubim are equally fascinating. The cherubim, angels with multiple faces. The cherubim are often portrayed with a complexity that goes beyond common human understanding. In Ezekiel's vision, they are described with 4 faces, of a man, a lion, an ox, and an eagle, and with wings that majestically extend, Ezekiel 1 verses 6 to 10. These faces represent the entirety of creation, symbolizing strength, courage, intelligence, and speed. The presence of the cherubim is always associated with God's throne, placing them in a position of high honor and proximity to the divine. Their multifaceted image adds a layer of mystery and depth to their role. The function of the cherubim goes beyond mere adornment around the divine throne. They are seen as guardians of God's secrets and messengers of complex truths. In the Bible, cherubim are placed to guard the way to the tree of life in Eden, Genesis 3 verse 24, symbolizing protection and the impossibility of reaching divine knowledge without permission. This protective role is a constant in their appearances, demonstrating that the cherubim are fierce defenders of the sacred and the forbidden. The idea of such powerful and enigmatic beings stirs the imagination and reinforces the mystery of the divine. The symbolism of the cherubim in art and literature over the centuries has been vast and varied. In cathedrals and illuminated manuscripts, they are often depicted as guardians of heaven, contrasting with the more simplified image of angels. This iconography serves as a reminder of the complexity and diversity of the celestial realm. The depth of their mystery and the richness of their symbolism make the cherubim an inexhaustible source of fascination. While diving into the study of these angels, we inevitably encounter the dark and intriguing abyss where Apollyon resides. The Angel of the Abyss, Apollyon and the Mystery of the Abyss. Apollyon, or Abaddon, is one of the most enigmatic beings mentioned in Revelation. Described as the Angel of the Abyss, he is the king of the infernal locusts that emerge from the pit of the abyss, Revelation 9 verses 1 to 11. This being has an ambiguous function, being both a destroyer and an executor of the divine will. The figure of Apollyon is surrounded by mysteries and varied interpretations, often representing the personification of chaos and destruction. His presence in Revelation adds a layer of depth to the concept of divine judgment and retribution. The mystery surrounding Apollyon is intensified by his association with the abyss, a place of confinement and terror. The abyss is often portrayed as a space of darkness and desolation, far from light and divine order. Apollyon, as the guardian of this realm, symbolizes the part of the divine that deals with punishment and chaos. This duality of functions makes his figure complex and multifaceted. He is not simply a villain but an integral part of the divine plan to maintain order and justice. This paradoxical role continues to stir theological and philosophical debates. Studying Apollyon and the abyss is exploring the limits of human understanding of the divine and the demonic. Apollyon represents a bridge between heaven and hell, showing that the line between the two can be nebulous and full of nuances. His figure forces us to consider the complexity of evil and justice in Christian theology. As such, he remains a figure of fascination and fear, a reminder that not all celestial beings are benevolent or easily understood. And while Apollyon dominates the abyss, Ezekiel's living beings offer a glimpse of an equally profound and celestial mystery. Before we continue, make sure to subscribe to the channel, activate notifications, and leave your like. Ezekiel's living beings, prophetic visions and their interpretations. Ezekiel's visions are some of the most intriguing and complex in the entire Bible. The living beings he describes have 4 faces and 4 wings, with wheels full of eyes around them, Ezekiel 1 verses 5 to 18. These visions are rich in symbolism and have been the subject of numerous interpretations over the centuries. Ezekiel's living beings represent God's omniscience and omnipresence, with their many eyes symbolizing the divine ability to see everything. The complexity of these visions reveals the depth of the mystery surrounding the celestial realm and its inhabitants. The function of these living beings is often interpreted as that of messengers and executors of the divine will. They are seen accompanying God's glory in its journeys, serving as vehicles of the divine, Ezekiel 10 verse 19. This mobility and the constant presence of God with these beings reinforce the idea that divinity is always on the move, active in the world, and in constant interaction with creation. The vivid details of Ezekiel's visions offer a window into theological and spiritual imagination, inviting believers to contemplate the dynamic nature of the divine. Interpretations of these visions vary, but a constant theme is the idea of mystery and reverence. The living beings are often seen as symbolic representations of divine qualities, such as power, wisdom, and presence. The richness of details in Ezekiel's visions provides abundant material for meditation and study, challenging believers to seek a deeper understanding of the divine. Just as Ezekiel faced his enigmatic visions, Jacob's struggle with the angel offers another example of direct encounter with celestial mystery. Jacob's struggle with the angel, enigmas and lessons. Jacob's struggle with the angel is one of the most enigmatic narratives in the Old Testament. Found in the book of Genesis, this struggle takes place during the night when Jacob is alone, Genesis 32 verses 24 to 32. The text does not clarify the angel's identity, leaving room for various interpretations. Some see the angel as a manifestation of God, while others interpret it as a celestial being or even an aspect of Jacob's own psyche. This ambiguity adds depth and mystery to the story, leading readers to reflect on their own spiritual and existential struggles. The struggle results in a significant change for Jacob. He is injured in the hip and, at the same time, receives a new name, Israel, which means, one who struggles with God, Genesis 32 verse 28. This event symbolizes the spiritual transformation and strengthening that can result from our own confrontations with the divine. Jacob emerges from the struggle with a new identity and purpose, reflecting how difficulties and challenges can shape us in profound ways. The story teaches us that encountering the divine mystery is often a painful but transformative experience. Jacob's narrative offers a powerful lesson about perseverance and faith. Despite the pain and mystery involved, Jacob refuses to let go of the angel until he receives a blessing. This determination is an inspiring example of how we should approach our own spiritual battles. Instead of fleeing from the unknown or discomfort, we are called to face these experiences with courage and faith, always seeking growth and understanding. And as we reflect on Jacob's struggle, we are led to consider the appearances of the angel of the Lord and their hidden meanings. The angel of the Lord, appearances and hidden meanings. The angel of the Lord is a recurring and intriguing figure in biblical narratives. His appearances are often surrounded by mystery and reverence, as in the stories of Hagar, Gideon, and Balaam. In each case, the angel of the Lord appears to deliver a crucial message or intervene at a critical moment. His identity is often ambiguous, sometimes indistinguishable from God himself. This duality creates fertile ground for interpretations and reflections on the nature of divine interaction with humanity. The presence of the angel of the Lord in key scripture moments suggests a role as mediator and divine messenger. He appears to guide, correct, or protect God's chosen ones, acting as a bridge between the celestial and the earthly. This intermediary function reinforces the idea that the divine is actively involved in human life, offering guidance and intervention when necessary. The figure of the angel of the Lord reminds us that even in our moments of greatest doubt and danger, there is a divine presence accompanying and guiding us. Each appearance of the angel of the Lord is loaded with hidden and profound meanings. For example, in Gideon's story, the angel not only calls Gideon to lead but also empowers him with courage and faith, Judges 6 verses 12 to 14. In another instance, the angel of the Lord appears to Balaam, teaching about the importance of obedience and spiritual perception, Numbers 22:31-35. These narratives show us that divine intervention often comes disguised in simplicity but carries deep and transformative meanings. Thus, by exploring these appearances, we are called to recognize and appreciate the subtle and powerful ways the divine manifests in our daily lives. It's impressive how each of these beings not only adds an element of mystery to the scriptures but also carries profound spiritual lessons and complex symbolism. What we learn from the seraphim, cherubim, and other celestial beings is that the divine often manifests in unexpected ways and is often incomprehensible to us. Now, the question remains, how can these stories and figures influence your spiritual journey? Are you ready to face your own enigmas and struggles with the same faith and perseverance as Jacob? Are you willing to recognize the subtle manifestations of the divine in your daily life, as Gideon did? These reflections can open new paths of understanding and spiritual growth for you. Another intriguing biblical character is the Antichrist. If you want to know more about him, just click on the video on the screen.